share with you guys before we get started is number one, for those of you that celebrate Easter, there were a couple of Easters last week. So happy Easter to those of you that celebrated. We're happy to be back. I know that all you kids are busy with keeping up on your schoolwork, right, boys? Yeah, that's a? Sadly, right. Okay, so camp this week is a different format. We're going to do an hour before lunch and an hour after. Okay, so I'd once again like to thank all of our instructors and counselors, and we're going to have some good times here over the next 3 days. Quickly, I also want to make sure that I wish everyone, including my sons here, Happy Earth Day. Very important day on the calendar. It certainly feels a lot different today. Not only do we have to stay inside for Earth Day, but we have snow in the third week of April. So that's fantastic, Earth. Way to go. Happy Earth Day, everybody. And last but not least, I want to thank not just Mike and not just his colleagues at Whitby Firestations in the town of Whitby, but all of our first responders all over the country and the world, especially right now. Knowing that you guys risk your lives, even more so doing your jobs to help us is just wonderful. We love you. Thank you so much. So without further ado, I'm going over to firefighter Mike Thomas, who's back for week 4, and we get a virtual tour of the fire station. Take it away, Mike.
Hi guys, thanks for joining us today. We are here live to you from Whitby Station 4. Station 4 is one of 5 fire stations in Whitby. We have 6 trucks. One hall has 2 trucks responding out of it. We are responding today on engine 34. We're going to be giving you a brief overview of what we have in our fire hall, taking you through the trucks, showing you some equipment, and of course, giving you a tour of the inside of the truck and letting you see some of the inner workings. On the camera today, I have firefighter Jake Sisson, who's been nice enough to assist us, and I have engineer, driver, operator Wes Laverty, who is going to be showing us a demonstration of our PPE and of course also assisting with the tour. We are in the Bay Hall, or the Bay area of our fire hall. We have living quarters. Unfortunately, because of where we are located, we will have ambient noise and some echo. And of course, due to the nature of our job, if we get a call and you hear what sounds like a school bell or some tones, that means we will be leaving to go to a call, because that is, of course, the primary reason we are here working today, is to go to help people that are in need. But without further ado, let's show you the trucks that we have in Station 4. We are located just outside the downtown core of Whitby, just west of it. We respond to all manners of calls here. We go to high-rise buildings, structurals, car accidents, and of course, first aid calls. But this is our primary response vehicle today. This is engine 34, formerly known as pump 34. I like to think about engine or pumpers as the Swiss Army of fire trucks. We have the whole truck, which is built around a tank of water. That tank of water allows us to show up on scene and quickly start to apply water. Also, in each of the cabinets are all manner of tools and equipment that we need to mitigate any sort of emergency.
I have strictly isolated, right? So that's different from.
Okay, so we'll start off on the side of the truck, and I will show you where the driver. Oh, sorry, we'll start with the picture. So if we were to get a call right now, we would hear the tones over the PA system of the hall, and then we would come to the display here. The TV screen here shows us where the emergency is located in Whitby. We have a map up to help us calculate the most accurate and quickest route to get there. And our captain has decided to store his truck and his boots here. So he would start getting himself ready and putting on his equipment. And as we walk around the truck, you'll see all of us will have our equipment staged in different areas, because of course, once those tones go, it's important that we respond as quickly as possible. So the traditional firefighter pants rolled down over the boots is what you'll see. Engineer Laverty will usually have his here, but his stage is at the back of the hall to give us a demonstration later on. So coming this way, we walk up the side of the truck and we walk by some cabinets that we're going to come back to, but we're going to go right to the driver's side and show you what we have. Again, back to our equipment being staged. Firefighter Sisson has staged his gear here, ready to go and done as quickly as possible. First cabinet. This is the first truck we've had this way. We no longer store any of our equipment in the actual cab. This is a clean cab compartment, so Engineer Laverty would be driving and storing his equipment here, but again, he's taken it aside. Going into the driver's side. Firefighter assistant is going to film from the back, so hopefully you guys can see. This is the inside of the fire truck. So if we were to turn it on, which I'm not going to do right now because you get a whole lot of bells and whistles and buzzes, we have, of course, a display computer monitor here. This monitor, when the truck is on, allows us to control all the lights. We have the emergency lights, which you see when we're driving down the road, and you tell your parents to pull to the right for us so we can get to the call as fast as we can. We have the siren here. So on that, we turn that, and of course, when you hear that noise, you tell your parents to pull to the right so we can get to the emergency as quickly as possible. The interesting thing about a fire truck is that the engine serves two purposes. One, it drives the vehicle, and then there's a lever down below that allows us to switch it to a pump, in which case that's the engine that allows us to spray water and do the things that make this truck able to spray the water where we need it and put out the fires. Up here, we have different switches. Sometimes, I guess, if you were not have ever been in one, it would feel a little bit like an airplane, that there's a lot of controls and buttons and dials. But we train every day, and especially because this is a new truck, we're working hard on familiarizing ourselves with it and getting to know all the equipment that our management team has provided us with. It's a fantastic new truck. We have headsets now to hear ourselves communicate. And there is a spot for everything, like there should be in your home. So we put everything back where it goes. Helmets are tied down, and we now have a computer system, which I'm going to come around and show you from the captain's seat. Hold on one second. Coming around to the captain's seat, we have Captain Boyman today, who can't be with us at this very moment, but he is up front, and we recognize Captain Boyman on scene at emergency because of his red helmet. He is essentially maybe the parent or the teacher today. He is the one who's in charge and will come up with the strategies and the game plan if we go to an emergency. We have a tablet command system now. This mirrors what you saw on the TV screen to allow us to get to calls. It tells us all the details of the incident we're responding to and has a GPS built into it to allow us to get to the call as quickly as possible. Captain Boyman is also in charge of all the radio communications. Using the radio here, he would talk to the other trucks, talk to our dispatch center, and find out what we are going to and convey the details, and also convey what we expect the other trucks to do when they respond to the call. Moving to the back of the truck, this is where the firefighters sit. So I'm working in the back of the truck today. This is my coat. I've staged my gear here. In the back of the cab, traditionally, we used to have SCBA, but we've gone to a clean cab system, as I mentioned earlier. So none of our primary firefighting equipment is any longer staged inside the cab because of the contaminations and contaminants that get on that truck, on that gear. We now keep everything outside. We have headsets up top that allow us to communicate to the captain and the driver when we're en route to calls. And then in this cabinet here, let's see the best way to film. Can you see it? Yeah. Well, this is where we keep the majority of our first aid equipment. A defibrillator, like you would see maybe at a hockey arena or at your school, you've seen them. Ours is portable. And then we have a large first aid kit that we can access here. Going to medical calls is part of our responsibility as firefighters and first responders. We respond to fires, car accidents, carbon monoxide calls, all nature of hazards, but medical calls where we go and work with the paramedics. So it takes up probably 70 to 80% of our responses. Going with the unique design of this truck as well, we have access to this cabinet from inside and as well from a door outside, which I'll show you in a moment. Don't hurt yourself coming down. So here's the cabinet from the outside, allowing us to get to everything without having to go back in the cab to get everything. Coming to you, Fire. You ready?
Five?
Yep. So, driver, operator, engineer, firefighter, liability, jack of all trades, can do it all. He's going to don his gear for us today, so you can see what a fully dressed firefighter looks like. Wes, when you're wearing all your gear, how much would you say just the gear weighs?
I would say just the gear, probably around 40 pounds.
Maybe you have the SCBA.
Maybe around another 40 pounds.
So for those of you at home, 40 plus 40, Jake?
80.
So approximately 80 pounds worth of gear is what we wear once we put everything on. So he's laid it on everything nicely for us. This would be a standard firefighter tool that we would take into a call. Sledgehammer. His helmet. We have our SCBA laid out nicely. SCBA stands for self-contained breathing apparatus. Similar to what you would see on a scuba diver, or you may have seen in some of your firefighter shows. You can watch Paw Patrol. I don't think I've ever seen Marshall with one, or any of the Transformers, rescue bots. I'm not sure I've seen them. But when we go into fires, we need that. It provides the oxygen that we use to breathe. Okay, what you want to show us how you do it?
Sure. Normally, because I'm driving today, I would have my equipment laid out at the front of the truck in the driving position. But today, to show you, we've got lots of room. So I have my boots in the ready position so I can just step in. And my hood, which protects my face and my ears, is ready to don. So when the alarms go, I would move to my boots, take my station steel toe boots off, grab my hood, just wearing a hat, that off. These are nice and laid out. I can step right in, pull them right up. Now I put on my hood, suspenders, then a jacket. Jacket I have ready with a radio. Every firefighter has a radio so we can communicate with each other. And a flashlight.
The flashlight's a key piece of equipment that we all carry as well, because when you go into fires, and you guys would know from maybe being at a campfire in the evening, it's dark and it's smoky. So the flashlight is one of our only sources of illumination. We stay low in that fire and we hope for good visibility, but it's very important for us to bring our flashlight. It seems like a simple tool, but it is a crucial one in terms of firefighting tools.
So next up, if we were stepping off the truck, I'd be grabbing my SCBA. There's a couple methods. This is the over the suitcase method. Backpack. Slide it over. Tighten up my arm straps. Tighten up my waist belt. Then my chest strap. Now that everything's ready to go, nice and tight. Next, I have my mask. Turning on my SCBA. Mask over. Tightening up. As you can see, you can't hear my voice very much because I'm inside my mask. Hold down my helmet. Now I'm breathing, and I can speak out of the speaker here. Grab my glove, protect my hands. Reach in the right pocket, ready to go. Grab hold of Dolores here, and we're ready to inflict some damage.
So guys, this is what your full dressed firefighter would look like coming to an emergency at your house in the event of a fire. He sounds a little bit like Darth Vader in terms of how he's breathing. That's just a standard of how our breathing apparatus works. It's important to know that when you see this, although it's not what you see all the time, this is the vision of someone who's coming to help you. So you don't hide from this person, you're never scared from this person. This is what a firefighter looks like dressed in full protective gear. Thanks, Wes. We're gonna move away and watch. Back to our engine. I'm going to show you what is commonly known as the jaws of life. A bit of a misnomer because the two tools work separate from each other to do what we want. But we have electric tools. We're doing I'll bring you back. So the first one we have here are what we call spreaders. Jake, you were on the R&D committee. How much would you say these weigh?
Those spreaders weigh almost 70 pounds.
So 70 pounds plus the 80 pounds that Wes is wearing with gear equals.
You asking the folks at home?
I'm asking you.
150 pounds.
All right. So this is something that we need to use very rarely. Overhead. So we use these ones to open a car door or force a door. You can see now they go. The motor sounds makes it probably very but when you bring them together, we use them to pinch and pull. Once they grip onto something, they're not letting go very easily. There is not very much that these cannot allow us to gain entrance to scale. We put them in the gap of the car door and then spread them, and we gain access that way. The other tool that we use is called cutter. They weigh about the same, and essentially like a giant set of scissors. Jake, do you want to put your finger in there for a minute?
No, thank you.
So those are what we would use in the event of a car accident. The spreaders, cutters. We also have another one called the ram. Those are some of the more fun tools we get to use as firefighters. Coming to the back of the truck. We have a set of tools that we refer to in the firefighting business as the irons. So independently, one's an axe with a flathead, like a hammer, and the other one is called a halligan. I'll separate them so you can see. Technical difficulties with your truck. All right. So these two tools in conjunction will allow us to manage. So we were going to an apartment or a high rise. We would take these two tools, using the different functions of this tool. You can see that it's got forks on one end, a pry end, and a pokey end. That we use in all manners of different ways in conjunction with this to gain entry into a door. This would be a high-rise pack that we would bring with us into a building. We connect that to the standpipes in an apartment, and we would use that as our own hose because we want to make sure that we bring our equipment in that we can trust when we go into a building. Looking at the back here, this tool bag is full of hose appliances. It's using that bag that we would use in the tools within it that would be used to connect to a fire hydrant. The fire hydrant then supplies water to the truck, and we use the pump of the truck to accelerate that water and spray where we need it. I'm going to show you guys a pump panel when that happens. Wes, do you mind throwing this pump panel here? Thank you so much. Coming around, this is the pump panel. This is another function of Wes's job today, our engineer Laverty. He is responsible, of course, getting us to the call, driving safely, following all the rules of the road, where the rest of us are wearing our seatbelts and being as safe as we can be in the back. Once he gets there, his duties change, and now he's in charge of supplying us water. So up here is how he's going to do that. So again, intimidating when you don't know what you're doing, but we train with this stuff all the time. The whole truck is designed around a giant tank of water, the plastic tank of water around the back in the back. And then this central part there is a giant water pump, which allows us to spray the water. These are essentially taps that allow us to direct where the water is going to come. There are 3 to 4 primary hose lines that we use. They are, I can first show where they would be located there. Jake. This is called our crossbed or quick attachment hoses. Using the hoses that are here, these would be the ones that we deploy initially at any sort of house fire or anything we went to. And then there, of course, the giant monitor, which we would use, which allows us to deploy large quantities of water in a defensive posture if we need to for a house fire or any other large structure fire that we were going to. Many different outlets, inlets on the truck, so that allow us to take water from another truck if we need to, spray water from our own, or of course receive water from the hydrant and go from there. We'll take a quick look at the aerial truck that's in this station, and then we'll go into a little tour of the hall. This is one of 2 ladder trucks that we have in Whitby. We use this one as a secondary deployment vehicle. We have a primary ladder truck at Station 5, our headquarters. This is a 100-foot aerial device. That means that the ladder is stacked in 3 major flies and will extend itself to 100 feet tall. On top of the truck height itself, you're looking at about 110 feet. We can use it for rescue or as a water tower. There are stretchers that connect to the top. There are hose lines in that bucket at the front. We have water on board, but not as much as our traditional pumpers or engines that we have now. But again, this is another tool that will be used in our rescue capacity. Follow me, I'll show you a little bit around the hall. You can see that engineer Lowry has a rag in his back pocket. It's a traditional tool for the firefighter. Always cleaning, always working. Making sure that everything is ready to go in case of an emergency. Come on in. This is hall 4. So we come to work for 24 hours at a time, which means, of course, we eat our meals here. In this unique time, we are social distancing, so we try and spread out our meals right now and try not to stay in our space. But most of the time, the guys come in here, we cook meals together, we do everything like you would as a family. And this is our family dining table right here. We eat our meals. We use this board that you can see. It's like our chalkboard or whatever you use, smart board or whatever you use in schools now, where we plan our training for the day. We teach our newer firefighters something we need to do. This is the centerpiece of the fire hall life. Messages that need to go from crew to crew will go up here because there are 4 different crews that work out of the station. We're shift A2, but there is also A1, B1, and B2 that respond and come. So tomorrow morning we will be relieved at 7 in the morning, and a new crew will come in and take on our responsibilities for the day. I mentioned that Captain Boyman couldn't be with us right now. He is doing something else that is very important for firefighters. Captain Boyman is currently in the middle of his physical fitness regime. Captain Boyman, can you say hi for a second? You can see Captain Boyman is one of our bilingual, only bilingual captains on the department. He's in the middle of his workout time. In this day and age of social distancing, we're not allowed to be in this room at the same time. So this is his assigned workout time right now. We'll just take you through around the front of the hall, and then we'll be just about done with the tour. So we have some older memorabilia to decorate the hall. This is a reflection to a SCBA a long time ago. It's a steel bottle with a hose that could get kinked very easily. The technology has come a long way for us. What we're wearing now, what you saw firefighter Laverty wearing, is deep years ahead of that technology. And this is a fire coat that the guys used to wear with just large rubber boots. Again, not nearly the protective gear that we have with our gear that we wear these days. This is the captain's office. So if he's not working out or responding to calls, Captain Boyman's in there, again, planning our training evolutions and letting us know what we have to go for the day. We're going to go outside the front of the hall. Might be a little bit loud, but we'll just show you what the hall looks like from the road, and then we'll be done the tour. Okay. We're just about done there, Wes. Yeah.
Sure. We'll talk. Good. We'll be with you one moment. So as I mentioned, this is Whitby Station 4. This is what our home looks like from the outside. Firefighter Laverty is just going to get the truck ready for you and drive it out. Just see what it looks like with the lights on. And you'll see engine 34 on the move. All right, guys. So thank you for joining us for our virtual tour of it. We have to go now. We've got some other things we need to take care of. Thanks to Firefighter Jake for helping, Engineer Laverty for all his assistance, and of course Captain Boyven for being fit and ready for duty. Justin and lots of thanks for the opportunity to provide this tour. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks very much to Firefighter Mike. We always have great sessions in this camp. I think one of the best things about this camp is it's got something for everyone. And one thing I will say is that, it's hard to pick sessions that are going to appeal to everyone. It's hard to pick sessions that everyone's going to like, but I can say without a doubt that that is a session that everyone will have enjoyed. So thank you to Mike. Thank you to, the firefighters of Whitby. Thank you to all the firefighters. And as Dustin said this morning, thanks to all of our first responders. You guys are amazing, keeping us safe 365 days a year. But now, especially when it's so much even more dangerous to keep us safe, it's wonderful to have you. So thank you to everyone. We're going to take a short 2-minute break. And right after our break is coming up is one of our most popular duos of camp, Justin and his daughter, Georgia, cooking up some lunch again for us this week. We'll be back in 2 minutes, guys. Hang on. We'll see you soon.